What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Jay, and this is the Jay Sinke channel. Guys, the feedback on the last Talkin tackle that I did was so great. I really appreciate it. It really has inspired me to do more. I do have good plans for the future for it too, but I'm not going to say anything just yet. I want to see how I do first, and we're just going to take off from here, guys. I think that this is a really good idea. So, I just really want to thank everybody who's taken the time to watch this video. Without you guys, it really wouldn't make much sense for me to even do this, right? Not really. I really enjoy teaching and I enjoy fishing. And anyway, guys, in today's Talkin tackle, what we're going to be talking about, and if you've seen the last couple videos that I've been fishing with, then you probably already get a gist of what I'm talking about. We are going to be talking about the drop shot rig. Alright guys, before we get too deep into the video, you guys know where I like to go from here. We're going to talk about today's sponsor, good old Mystery Tackle Box. Guys, I love Mystery Tackle Box, and actually this Mystery Tackle Box from this month specifically, which to me kind of like makes it a reason for why you should get the Mystery Tackle Box, is actually what's inspired this video. It got little hooks, I got drop shot weights, even got these Semantis baits in the box, and these are like the perfect size for drop shot. Perfect drop shot setup. So I decided I was going to do a video for it. So anyway, guys, go check them out. You're getting a great deal right now with the holiday sales. I think you're getting up to like 20% off the boxes, and if you use my code JSINKE, I think you can get a $10 off. I'm not sure if that's in addition to. I guess put the code in and figure that out. I need to figure that out probably, but give it a try. Anyway, I will get you back to the video. The drop shot rig is one of the most important bass rigs to know, and I think even the beginners should know it. So that's why we're going through that one today in this video. It can be fished in shallow waters, it can be fished in deep waters, it can be fished in all the levels in between, on a windy day, on a non-windy day, on a winter day, on a spring, summer, even fall day. You know, the drop shot is a very versatile rig, and I think that all bass anglers from beginning to advanced should know it, and the advanced ones will even tell you it's always a good one to have in the back pocket. If nothing else is working, drop shot's one of those ones that will probably work. A drop shot rig is essentially a line that ties around a hook. The hook's going to be pointing upwards, the leader, and then there's going to be a weight at the end of that leader. You can have a variety of hooks, you can have a variety of baits, you can have a variety of size weights. Your length of your leader can also vary, it really just depends on the depth of the water that you're fishing. And it also depends on, you know, the size fish that you're fishing. You know, if you're, bait fish in your water are this big and, you're fishing something that's this big, I mean, chances are if you're sizing down, you still might get something in reality. But point is, you can change up the sizes. But for the video purposes, we're going to be talking about how I fish it out on a pond and majority of bass fishermen and how they fish it. The drop shot rig is a finesse style fishing. So like finesse rig, I guess you want to call it, it's a finesse style. When you're going out there, you're not looking, for the big and bad. You're trying to be finesse. You're trying to be sneaky with the finesse. So the most common setup that you're looking to get at is somewhere probably around a 7-foot rod. You want something, honestly, it's more likely going to be a spinning setup. This is a 7-foot rod, a medium light, and the actions on it fast is ideal. You can get either extra fast or fast. I mean, you really want a sensitive rod. Okay, and the type of line that you want to have light line on there. I'm talking somewhere between 6 and 10 pounds maybe at the most. And you want it to be clear line too. So ideally what you're looking at is probably fluorocarbon or some sort of clear mono if you're really just, not sure about the fluoro. Or if you're using braid, obviously try to use some sort of leader for that braid option. Here, guys, I have some Spear Point GP Finesse size number 2. Now, a lot of the times, guys, to me, there's two different hooks that you really can use. There's the split shot and drop shot hook, And I'll put a picture of it. Actually, I think I might have one right here. Yeah, I got one right here. It might be a little bit bigger than what you might use, but now you can use any size hook that you want. But like I said, in the most common setup, you're looking at some kind of hook like that. That's something more common of what you see on a drop shot rig. Me personally, I like to use Ewg hooks because I fish at a lot of ponds that have a lot of wood and, you know, a lot of lay down and stuff that you get caught up in. And if you're not weedless, you're losing it. And I'm not trying to lose everything I throw. So I'll put it with an Ewg hook. That's why I like these right here, these spear points. This is a size number 2. It's an Ewg hook. And you can still Texas rig it on there and you can still make it, you know, your bait sit just right. But like, I won't get ahead. We'll get there in a second when we get to the baits. But as far as talking the hooks, you want typically a finesse hook. So, you know, a number 1, 2, 3, 4, somewhere in there. A number 1 might be kind of small because the 2s are a bit small in my opinion. But I like them. They're fine. I catch best just fine. And as far as the weights go, you have 2 different options on the weights. You have some that are like these Carl's, what is this? Carl's Stash Drop Shot. These are the stick weights. Okay, you have stick weights that are just literally, they look like a stick. They have tungsten weights too. Those are a better option, obviously, because tungsten makes more noise and you get more, you know, bang for your buck on that one. Actually, you get, you know, it's more expensive. But they also have the round ball as well. I'm not sure. I guess it's just called, they're both drop shot weights. Those are original as the ball. The weight themselves is going to have a crimped swivel at the top, so that way when you go to tie your knot, it's secure on there and it stays upright and it doesn't do a whole lot of moving once it's down in the, you know, on the ground and under the water. As far as using a heavier weight or a lighter weight, typically speaking, I'm using somewhere between a 1/4 ounce. I have gone down to an eighth of an ounce. I have used up to a 1/2 ounce. Truly, the thing behind it is how fast is your water moving? Sorry. So if you're having a windy day, it might be wiser to use a heavier weight because the idea is for the weight to get to the bottom and to stay there. So use a heavier weight on windier days, especially if you're dealing with deeper waters. If you're dealing with shallower ponds, I mean, you could probably still get away with a 1/4 ounce because you're probably not going down that far. But, you know, try in between 3/8 of an ounce. Just depends on, like I said, the depth and how hard your wind's blowing and how, you know, shaky is your water. I don't know why I can't talk about what I'm talking about with the water moving. Motion in the ocean, you know. If it's doing that too much, use a heavier weight. Okay, anyway. Okay, so after all that's said and done, you got your setup, you know, 7 foot, somewhere around that general area, a medium light, somewhere with a fast or an extra fast tip. And generally speaking, it's going to be on a spinning rod because it's a finesse rig most of the time. And then you got your fluorocarbon. That's the kind of line you're usually trying to, something clear, especially fluorocarbon, mono, somewhere around there. You want it light, between 6 pounds, 10 pounds. You got your weights, you got your hooks. Let's talk about the kind of baits. And then we're going to actually talk about how you rig it up. But let's talk about the baits you want to use. This right here, guys, knocked it out for me the other day. Some mantis baits. I got this in my mystery tackle box and I was throwing something else and then I decided to throw this on, and the first time I threw it out there, first cast, got a fish. Got one. Yeah. There we go. As soon as I threw and changed it up to that Semantis bait. Yeah, look at that guy. Woo! I mean, it did well for me. I didn't even get a chance to go out that long, and I was able to get 3 fish. So it was a good day fishing. They weren't the biggest fish, but you know what? Hey, any fish is welcome here. But if you want something that you're typically looking at that's probably right around, again, this depends on the size hook that you're using. We're going finesse. We're talking about size 2, number 2s, number 3s, number 4s, maybe even smaller hooks. We're not even up to the 1/0 and 2/0. We're talking on the smaller side of the scale, okay? So something like that. So you want to use something that's probably about 2 inches. Maybe that's a bit small. 3 inches, 3.5 inches. And you can get up into like 5 inches at the most if you're using just like a worm or something. And again, you can really throw it out there and just see what works, you know, ideally. Some of my favorite ones I got over here, the Cementis one is definitely getting my eye. But one of the ones I really like to throw is the Dragon Drop. I have this in Morning Dawn, and that Morning Dawn color just slayed it for me earlier this year, and I did a Dragon Drop. I'm sorry, a drop shot rig. And the Morning Dawn just did it. This color is great. I love it. It's a natural color. It's called a murky minnow. This looks great in the water too. Another great one is that Rattling Ned by Guggen, of course. Where is it? The Yoto worm, the smaller one. They make a smaller one now, guys. It's like 3.5 inches. It's great. I do like to rig up that plasma tail. If I'm talking about just a regular old worm, this has a good, you know, finesse type movement to it. It doesn't, you know, it's great stick bait, and it just hangs out like that, just straight on the side like it's supposed to. So something like that. You could even throw like a swim bait on there, a smaller swim bait, you know what I mean? Take the tail end of a dart or something like that, rig it up on there, make it look like it's a fish. Use a grub if you want to, something crazy with a swirly tail. It all depends on the time of year, really. You know, if you're in the colder months, use something that has less action, like that tickle tail on the Yoto worm. And if you're in the springtime when the bite, you know, is going crazy, use something like a paddle tail, because it's got that, you know, when it's in the water, it's got its own action going for it. You know, those are the kind of baits that you use. Smaller ones, finesse. That's the idea. All right, I know. You guys sat there and you're sitting there like, okay, you told me everything that I need to use. You told me all the baits. You told me how to fish it just a little bit, but how do you actually rig it? We're there. Okay. So the way you rig it, and there are different ways that you can actually rig the drop shot rig. A lot of times people get a swivel involved and use a whole separate leader for the weight itself. To me, this is the easiest way to do it, as far as, you know, what you got on you right now, and like anybody can do it. As long as you know the Palomar Knot, you'll be able to do this drop shot rig. So we're going to do a Palomar Knot. That's what we're going to start with. We're going to start with this little hook here, little number 2 spear point hook that I got in my mystery tackle box. It's going to go through, and just because I'm on camera, guys, watch me mess up. I already did once. I'm just not putting that recording part in there. But you put it through once. Put it through twice. Okay. Now I have a video for the Palomar Knot already. And when you're thinking about your leader, guys, think about the depths of water that you're fishing. Think about where you want that bait to be floating. Because ideally what the point is you're wanting that bait to be in the column, right where the fish are eating. You want it right in their face. So if you're fishing deeper waters, you may need a longer leader. If you're fishing more shallow waters, you may need a shorter leader. Just think about the depths of water that you're fishing. The most general speaking leader size is typically somewhere between like a foot to like 3 feet. That's like the general size area. And I generally use about 1.5 to 2 foot myself. So it really depends. Sometimes I'll be closer to the foot size, you know, if I'm doing a more shallow pond. I'm a pond hopper, so I don't always have like the deepest waters around me. So I just typically do just an eyeball measure, and I use a little bit more usually too, because I you know, want to consider a little bit of line when I'm tying my knot on. So that's something to like think about. You know, don't do it to the exact amount, because it might be a little bit shorter than you want. So then you got it through there, right? You loop it, do your basic knot. I don't know how to explain that. So you bring the loop around. It's hard to see my line there. It's so light. You see the line? I don't even want to put my hand up on it. There's a line there. Okay? And you loop it through, put it around the hook, pull it down. Make sure it's all secure there. Okay? And then you got your leader here. With your leader, see, look, this one's going to be a little bit more of a shallow one, which is fine because I've been fishing the shallower ponds lately. Take your good old Carl's drop shot weight stick. That's what they call them. I don't know why I don't know that. And guys, when it comes to the drop shot knot, go ahead and use your clench knot or your uni knot, whichever one you want, especially if you're taking your time, you know, the night before when you're rigging up and all that fun good stuff. But for simple purposes, when I'm out on the pond and I'm trying to be in a hurry and I want to rig because, you know, I don't know, I just saw some fish busting that top, or I just lost whatever I had on, and I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna try a drop shot. I'll tie a simple knot on there, just simple crisscross, 1, 2, make sure it's on there. The bass are more paying attention to the bait. That's what they're biting anyway. That Palomar knot is where that strong knot is right on that hook, and that's where the strong knot should be. You want to make sure that you can tug it, you know, you want to make sure it's strong, but you can use even simple knots on these drop shots. I wouldn't do a Palomar knot on a drop shot either, too. Another Palomar knot, that just can be a little complicated, and I've tried it, and it's complicated. Put a simple knot on there. So, what you got is a line with a hook, and you want that hook, well, if we could get it right, we gotta make it face the right way. There we do. Okay. It's not gonna do it right now. I'll have to hold it up this way. So, line to hook. There's a Palomar knot in that there. Hole. Can't see it. Biggest thing is you want to make sure your hook is facing upwards. And then your little drop shot weight. Alright. And as far as the way you put a plastic on there, there's 2 ways. There's the nose hook, which is when I spoke earlier about the clinch and the drop shot hook. Those have a more, what did I do with it? Did I put it somewhere else and just forgot all about it? I probably put it back where it belongs in this container. It's not like me to do stuff like that. All right. These hooks like this. Something like that. You know, you nose hook it. So essentially when you nose hook something, okay, there, just be crazy. Why not? I don't even got a soft plastic just to use for basic purposes. Partial one? Why not? So when you want a nose hook, well, good old dart, okay? Just want to nose hook it. Most people just put it on there, something just like, ow, that's sharp. Something just like that. And when it sits in the water, it sits out just like this. And they engulf it. And you have a higher hookup ratio for sure when it comes to this. So you really can't beat it. A lot of the times, me personally, I use EWG hooks, and it's because I like to do it Texas rig, where you take it on there, and this is a tiny little hook. Where'd you go? So we're going to use a tiny little, we'll use a little Ned rig. So, I say so too much. I feel like I say so too much. It's me like trying to like intervene with while I'm trying to do something else. Got your little EWG hook. This thing's causing all kinds of problems behind me. Got your little EWG hook, and you just fish it Texas rig. Rig it Texas rig. You know, you take it bottom first. Oh, of course, this weight wants to move around. I want to put it up here where y'all can see. Go bottom first. Got a tiny little hook there. So just use a tiny little piece. Bring it around. Measure it up. And see, that goes all, that's one thing that has with these tinier hooks. It likes to go all the way up on there sometimes. And then it literally, well, if I can get it to sit right. There you go. Sits just like that. Texas rig. And then that way it's more weedless, and I fish a lot of things, like I said, with a lot of brush piles, a lot of wood, all that. So Texas rig, I'm not against that either if you're using an EWG hook. There's a variety of hooks, there's a variety of weights, there's a variety of different kinds of setups really, but overall, you're dealing with a finesse setup, so you really want to be on the finessey side of things. Sneaky. Very, very sneaky. That's the idea. Especially with the winter coming up, guys. Everything's cooling down. You want to start, you know, throwing out those things that are going to slow down. I know people don't want to get on the slow bite, but guys, the slow bite's coming. And if you still want to fish, you got to just take it for what it is. I think the drop shot is actually a very underrated rig. I think a lot of people will tell you that, oh yeah, it's a great rig, but I don't use it a whole lot. And I don't use it a whole lot, but I have been using it more often. So anyway, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, turn on all your notifications so you know when the next video drops. I'm doing good about these. I hope you guys enjoy these Talkin tackle. Like I said, I have some future plans in mind. I got to do a little bit more research, a little bit digging, but stay tuned. I got some good plans going for this one. Let me know what you want to see more of. I have some people that, want to see something having to do with like the water temperatures and depths like that. So that might be a good future topic to talk about. It's not tackle, but we can talk about the tackle that you have to use in those scenarios. Anyway, guys, you guys know how it goes. If we are out here fishing, we are out here catching, which I'm probably going to do tomorrow if I can actually edit this video and everything. And we are out there, I think, figuring out a new little bond here. No complaints. Oh my goodness, guys. World's record baby fish. Oh my gosh, this is a bluegill. Oh my goodness. I've never caught a bluegill like this, ever.